This just then, excuse me, good morning. This just then, I'm not quite sure how or why I connected everything to Facebook, TikTok, TikTok Smile Girl, Twitter, but I damn sure got a lot of phone calls saying, Frank, what the fuck are you doing? Take it off of Facebook. And of course it had to be my worst one. At best, I was rambling. The only I don't know if these things are edited by a computer, but they got it straight on the mark when I hit the edit button, the edit studio button, and it edits for you. So if you try this, and let's say, for example, you pretty much lost your mind at the same time, don't go back. You have they have an app where you can just click and you can schedule it. You can look and see what you're doing and maybe like get a hold of some editing tools. And for me, from now on, I think I'm just going to pre-record it with my own camera, download it onto here, and edit it. Or like I said, it would end up better off just if you really want to take your first shot at it. Take your first shot at this by editing it or hitting the. Don't go live. Take your first shot at this by perhaps taking a few footnotes on what you want to say, how you're going to say it, and don't try to think about what you're going to say until you say it. To go over what I meant to say is primordial egg, the singularity that burst into the universe, was very extremely compact mass. It's the theory anyway, Big Bang theory, and it's an extremely compact mass, so compact that the gravitational pull pulls it so far in it has no place to go but explode out. And it explodes out in such a way that it's just particles of atoms, just particles, pieces of atoms scattered, whoosh, and it's still apparently traveling outward. So 4.5 billion years and it's still going out. Then there is the theory of a static universe and a contracting universe, which at some point they've got it broken down basically to almost the negative or positive, I forget which spin of a subatomic particle. I think it's the angular momentum of an electron or something like that. If it's a certain amount, the universe will get to a point where it becomes static, like the sun is static. The sun basically got to a point where the hydrogen atoms had collected around one singular hydrogen. It had to be one lucky little hydrogen atom, which is a proton circled by an electron, as seen here, or here, or maybe over here, or where the hell did I put it? But anyway, this is water right here. This here right here is that's a hydrogen atom. You see our electron going around, around, around. Well, these two are hydrogen, and they both have one proton, one electron, proton, one electron. And this loop here, right here, is known as covalent bonding. And together, these two make H2, which would be a hydrogen cloud. H2, I think it's somewhere here. That's H2O, that's water. That's when the oxygen molecule gets added, and that has two electrons circling around the proton, or perhaps two protons. I didn't look that up. But two protons that have to have a neutron between the two, and they would bind the two protons. And these protons and electrons, protons and neutrons can be broken down into a whole mess of subatomic particles. I don't really think for this purpose I'll get into that right now. In fact, I got to do some ciphering for that. But basically, what you can see here is the motion. If I can do this backwards, is this would be the radius. This would be the x-axis. This would be your tangent. So the distance between here and here would be this distance traveled in a straight line, or the fastest way to get from here to here is here to here. And that would require an angular spin. It's like the moon rotates on its axis around the Earth. Only, I would say that this path, instead of circular, it would be more of an elliptical, a bit elliptical, perhaps. But according to Bose Einstein principle or conversation or continuum, whatever the hell, I forget the exact term, but this electron, once placed in this orbit or static state, energy path, is when put into Pauli exclusion principle or Pauli exclusion statistic, which means that this electron will stay in its path, not cross over into this path. Stay here. And this one will stay here. But the loop binds them. And that's called covalent bonding. And that forms our molecule, which right here is a water molecule. And I'm going to have to look this up, but I believe there may or may not be a proton, two protons, and a neutron. The neutron is neutral. It's just like the neutrino is neutral, and that is a subatomic particle with a neutral charge. I'm not saying it has no charge, because since it's neutral, it has both. So a neutron has, a neutron is both negative and positively charged. It hangs in there and bonds the two protons together. And the atomic bomb basically takes all these zillions and jillions and jillions of electrons and protons, and they all blow apart at once. So you can imagine the energy released in something like that. Probably about as much, I think it was uranium. Yeah, uranium was discovered by Madame Curie, and she actually died of that She died of radiation poisoning. Just ate her up. But anyway, yeah, she discovered uranium, which has, I believe, 238 electrons. And it has so many that they lose their path and radiate electrons, thus radiation. And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be alive because my dad was in World War II, and he'd done would have had to go in along with about 100,000 men. They were expecting at least 100,000 casualties. It was either them or us. I mean, it was the Bushido code of war. The code of the warrior says that you cannot be a man and surrender. You must fight to the death, and that's was agreed upon. And unfortunate, because the emperor just had to say no. We can't do this. Tojo had to say no. If we're going to exist and continue to exist as a country, or even a race for that matter, Truman told him now unconditionally, that's it. We'll have no more of this, or else we will continue to pepper you with these weapons that the world has never seen before. And Einstein was quoted as saying, I don't know what they're going to use in World War III, but in World War IV, they're going to be using sticks and stones. So even though he had explained to Roosevelt that if I had released all the energy in this chair you're sitting on, I could crack the world in half, he wasn't kidding. He knew his shit. So I never said that Einstein was wrong. I was saying that a constant is only constant in this universe. But if you theorize, or how I say theory is that there's more than one universe. It sounds out there. It sounds way out there, but it's really not that hard to conceive of if the physical laws didn't apply, or perhaps the next universe is an equally adjacent universe, infinitely similar to the fact that we would never notice that we're actually stepping into that universe as we step into the future. And the present is nothing but a beginning and an end to infinity, which would be an instantaneous, like now becomes then, now becomes then, now becomes then, continuously, like a light wave reflecting off the earth. And right now, this moment being reflected into space, and that would be me. In five light years away, it would be me showing you this, or the roof of the building I'm in. And with me in it showing you this, I'm not exactly sure, my idea would be that it would just have to be the roof, or else light rays would have to do a lot of bouncing around. They wouldn't have to go do that much bouncing around to get out of my window, but that they do get out my window, I'm sure. But all that time I was hiding I look a lot better than me without my glasses on. So anyway, good morning, or if you're abroad, good night. And if you're not watching, then don't bother watching. But I don't know if anybody wants me to unlink my videos from anyone I had linked to. Just drop me a note, or block me, or hit me over the head with a big hammer, or canonize me, shoot me out of a cannon. whatever. But, anyway, it took me 15 minutes to say that. I'm long-winded. Okay. One more thought. I forgot it. Imagine that. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Beautiful.